Oh, I am more than ready to dive into the world of golf tours. Let's call it the tour de force of the golfing universe today. All right, folks, let's get rolling. Welcome to the Golf Digest podcast. I'm Alex Wenger, and sitting right across from me, ready to slice through today's topic like a perfectly struck iron, is my brilliant co host, David Ward. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the professional golf world, starting with the biggest, glitziest stages like the PGA Tour and LPGA Tour. But don't you worry, we're not stopping there. We're going to dig deeper into the tours you might not hear about every day: the Korn Ferry Tour, Let Access Series, Sunshine Tour, Asian Development Tour, and so many more. So, whether you're an aspiring pro or just love a good tale from the fairway, we've got you covered. David, what's the first stop on our tour train today?
Honestly, I was hoping we could briefly move through the PGA and the DP and the LPGA World Tour. If you could just give a quick breakdown for everybody at home about those three tours. They're all the pinnacles, really, in my opinion. The DP World Tour, formerly European Tour, it's been around for so long now and seen so many great names. I think we all know what we're dealing with when we speak about these three. So let's get through those first, and then we'll move on to some of the more niche tours available for golfers.
Absolutely, David. Let's breeze through the heavyweights so we can dive into the hidden gems afterward. Starting with the PGA Tour, this is the gold standard for professional men's golf. It's the tour every aspiring golfer dreams of, home to the biggest events like the Players' Championship, the FedEx Cup playoffs, and of course, legendary names like Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and Rory McIlroy. It's all about top-tier competition, massive prize pools, and a global audience. The PGA Tour doesn't just set the bar, it is the bar. Now, the DP World Tour, formerly the European Tour, as you mentioned, has such a rich history. It's been the proving ground for so many international stars, from Sev Ballesteros and Colin Montgomery to more recent names like John Rahm and Victor Hovland. It's evolved beautifully, especially with its partnership with the PGA Tour, but it's kept its unique flair. Iconic courses like Wentworth and events like the Rolex Series give it a distinctly European elegance. For players looking to make their mark on a global stage, this tour has been a launchpad for decades. And then, of course, the LPGA Tour, the pinnacle of women's golf. What I love about the LPGA is how international it's become, with stars from Korea, Thailand, Europe, and the US dominating the scene. You've got legends like Annika Sorenstam and Lorena Ochoa, and current superstars like Nelly Korda and Jin Young Ko. It's not just about competition. The LPGA represents growth for women's golf worldwide. Major tournaments like the US Women's Open and the Chevron Championship showcase the best of what this tour offers. These three tours are the dream destinations. But David, the beauty of golf is that there's room for everyone to find their way, even if the path starts on a smaller, scrappier stage. Where shall we head next?
Okay, well we've tackled the best. Let's deal with the rest, I think. But let's start from the bottom. So let's say you're an aspiring female golfer that's aiming their sights at the LPGA tour. Where would you hypothetically start? You know, in your journey of professional golf and tour golf for a female golfer with that ambition.
Great question, David. Let's map out the journey for an aspiring female golfer with LPGA dreams. For most players, it starts with regional or developmental tours, where they sharpen their competitive edge. A common stepping stone is the Epson Tour, the official qualifying tour for the LPGA. It's essentially the LPGA's version of the Korn Ferry Tour. The Epson Tour is fantastic for gaining experience in professional level competition while earning points to potentially secure an LPGA Tour card. Before the Epson Tour, many players might build their confidence and rankings through smaller circuits like the Cactus Tour or the Women's All-Pro Tour, WAIT PT. These tours offer a lower pressure environment to transition from amateur to pro golf, with a solid chance to test one's skills against up-and-coming players. Success here can lead to invites to bigger tournaments or Q School. And speaking of Q School, that's another vital part of the journey. The LPGA has a multi-stage qualifying school process that culminates in Q Series. This is where the stakes get high. It's the gateway to earning status on the LPGA Tour or the Epson Tour. If you can perform well here, you're officially in the mix with the best. On top of all that, there's the Let Access Series in Europe, which serves as a feeder for the Ladies European Tour. Players often compete here to build their world ranking points and potentially earn spots in bigger events. Some golfers even use the Let itself as a platform to later transition to the LPGA. So it's a step by step journey, starting small, mastering developmental tours, and taking big leaps through Q School or international circuits. What's great about women's golf is how many pathways there are to break through.
Okay.
Would you say this mirrors the men's journey? Or do you think women have to take a slightly different route?
I don't know, Alex. I don't know any professional women golfers yet. I haven't heard many stories. So, one thing that I heard you say there was a cactus tour. I never heard of that. Could you explain it a little more to me?
Ah, the Cactus Tour. It's one of those hidden gems that doesn't get a ton of spotlight, but plays a crucial role in the early careers of many female golfers. It's a professional developmental tour based primarily in the southwestern United States, with
Mm,
most events taking place in Arizona, Nevada, and California. This tour is designed for players who are transitioning from amateur golf to the professional ranks, giving them a chance to compete in smaller fields with less travel and lower entry costs compared to the Epson Tour or Let Access series. It's an especially popular choice for young pros fresh out of college or for players looking to get tournament reps in a supportive but competitive environment. What's special about the Cactus Tour is its accessibility. The entry fees are reasonable, and there's no need for full tour membership, which makes it ideal for players who are testing the waters in pro golf.
okay.
Plus, the fields are often a mix of aspiring professionals, experienced players working to regain form, and sometimes LPGA or Epson Tour players looking to stay sharp during off weeks. One fun fact: Anna Nordvist, a three-time major winner, played on the Cactus Tour early in her career. It's proof that even the smaller tours can be a critical launchpad for future stars. It's a no frills tour, but it serves its purpose brilliantly, letting players hone their game and build confidence. What do you think, David? Should we be giving the Cactus Tour more love in the golf world?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think why not? I didn't even know it existed, and so the love's going to start from here for me anyway. I'm going to tune into some Cactus Tour this week. And we're speaking about America, but what about for a European lady, or for an Asian lady, or for an Australasian lady? Where would they? Where could they start their? Is there an equivalent of a Cactus Tour for them?
That's a brilliant point, David. The journey does shift depending on where a player is starting out geographically. While the Cactus Tour holds it down in the US, there are great equivalents in Europe, Asia, and Australia, tailored to local talent and those regions' golfing cultures. For a European lady golfer, the natural starting point is the Let Access Series, Lead S. It's essentially the feeder tour for the Ladies European Tour, ELIT, offering a platform to earn points, ranking, and even full elite membership through strong performances. It's similar in vibe to the Cactus Tour, but with a European flair,
Okay.
with events across countries like France, Spain, and Sweden. Many players who've made it to the ELIT or LPGA started here. It's a
Okay.
fantastic way to gain exposure to international competition while staying close to home. In Asia, it gets really interesting. The Taiwan LPGA, TLPGA, China LPGA, CA, and the Korean Dream Tour are all strong developmental circuits. These tours offer opportunities for regional players to break through, build their world rankings, and get invitations to major international events. The Korean Dream Tour, in particular, has produced some incredible talent, Korea being a powerhouse in women's golf. For Japanese players, the Step Up Tour, a feeder for the JLPGA, is another great option. For an Australian lady golfer, the WPGA Tour of Australasia provides a solid foundation. This includes the prestigious Australian Women's Classic and regional events that attract strong local talent. Many Aussie golfers also use the ALPG, Australian Ladies Professional Golf, events as stepping stones to make their way to the ELET or even directly to Q School for the LPGA. All of these tours serve a similar purpose to the Cactus Tour: smaller fields, affordable entry fees, and less daunting logistics, while still offering competitive environments. They also have a fantastic community vibe, helping players learn the ropes of professional golf without overwhelming pressure. It's clear there are multiple doors to open depending on where you're from. Do you think having these smaller regional options makes the path more accessible, or does it just create more choices to navigate?
I think it makes it more accessible personally. I'm just a little curious, as you know, you spoke about invitations. How does a tour golfer go about getting invitations? Have you got any tips for an aspiring male or female golfer who's looking to get invitations? How do they go about chasing invitations?
That's a great question, David, and it's such an important part of a professional golfer's journey. Getting invitations, often called sponsor exemptions or wildcards, can be a game changer, especially for those trying to break into higher level tours. Here's how aspiring golfers can position themselves to snag those coveted spots. Firstly, build your brand and reputation. Tournament sponsors love players who bring something unique to the table, whether it's an exciting playing style, a strong social media presence, or a compelling personal story. For example, if you're a young player with a standout amateur career or someone who's performed well in regional events, that's often enough to catch the attention of sponsors or tournament directors. Secondly, perform consistently in developmental tours or smaller pro events. Sponsors and tournament directors keep an eye on up and coming talent, especially players who have been dominating lower tier tours like the Epson Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, Lead Us, or the Challenge Tour. A string of strong finishes or a high ranking position can make you an attractive choice for an invite. Networking is also key. Build relationships with sponsors, coaches, and other professionals in the golfing world. A well placed introduction or recommendation can go a long way. Many invitations come from personal connections, someone in the industry advocating for a young player they believe in. Additionally, write to tournament directors. Aspiring pros often send polite, well crafted letters or emails explaining why they deserve a spot. Include your resume, highlighting achievements, rankings, and any standout moments that demonstrate your potential. Don't be shy about selling yourself, but keep it professional and concise. For amateurs or newer pros, high profile amateur events or regional championships are a great platform. For example, finishing well in the Women's Amateur Asia Pacific can lead to invites to bigger lit or LPGA events. Similarly, winning or performing well in state opens or smaller professional tournaments often gets you noticed. Finally, be ready to seize any opportunity. If you get an invite, make the most of it. Tournament sponsors want players who will not only compete, but also engage with fans, media, and the event's broader community. So, in short, play well, network like a pro, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there. What do you think, David? Should we encourage golfers to focus as much on their off course presence as their game?
I mean, from what you're telling me, it seems like yes. You know, if your social media, if your demeanor, if your character itself is going to affect your applications for these tours. As you say there, Alex, invitations come like that. Yes, absolutely. I'd like to encourage all aspiring tour players to start to concentrate on their image, on how they look. You know, on if they're attractive to a tour, how can they be more attractive to a tour? Because bridging that gap is so difficult, and I would love to help people gain the knowledge and the expertise to bring something unique to the table so that when they do apply for a tour or an invitation, it's uh it's given to them with open arms because they're such an impressive character, because they have
You're
such a good
absolutely spot on, David. Golf is no longer just about your swing or your score. It's about the total package you bring to the table. If we're talking about bridging that gap, it's all about standing out, right? Sponsors and tours aren't just looking for great players, they're looking for personalities that can represent the sport, excite fans, and bring visibility to their brand. Aspiring golfers should ask themselves, what's my story? Is it my
yeah.
resilience, my unique background, or maybe a quirky signature style? These personal touches resonate with fans and sponsors alike. Social media is such a powerful tool for this. It's like your personal highlight reel and portfolio combined. Sharing behind the scenes practice, engaging with followers, or showing your personality off the course creates a connection that goes beyond just your leaderboard position. And you're right, how you present yourself matters too. It's not about being someone you're not, but rather enhancing the best version of
Yes.
yourself. A professional demeanor, being media savvy, and even taking time to connect with fans at events can all make a difference. This isn't just theory either. Players like Paige Spiranak, for example, built their brand through social media, even though her career wasn't strictly on the LPGA or LET. And then you've got Lydia Ko, whose humble, relatable nature attracts fans as much as her incredible talent does. I love this idea of guiding players on building their image, David. Maybe we can create a segment for this in future podcasts, like a toolkit for making yourself tour worthy.
Oh
What do you
yeah.
think?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. And I think while we do that, we should bring in these people that you're mentioning, bring them on if we can, or at least get some clips from them of them telling us their stories and giving advice to anybody who's going to follow them down these um, trying to avoid saying rabbit holes. Going to follow them into these
Absolutely,
tours.
David. That's brilliant. Bringing in players like Paige Spiranak, Lydia Ko, or even rising stars from smaller tours would add so much depth to the conversation.
Yeah,
Imagine hearing directly from them about how they've navigated the challenges of building their brand, chasing invitations, and standing out in the competitive world of golf. It'd be gold for anyone listening, whether they're aspiring pros or just golf fans, curious about what goes on behind the scenes.
yeah,
We could aim to get full interviews or even short audio clips, just a few minutes of them sharing their best advice or personal anecdotes. Something like, "What's the one thing you wish you knew when you were starting out?" Or even tips about handling social media, staying mentally tough, and dealing with rejection when invites don't come through. It'd also be great to showcase diverse voices, players from the Cactus Tour, Epson Tour, Lead Access, or even junior circuits, so listeners can see there's no one size fits all path to success. This could evolve into a recurring segment like Tour Talks, Wisdom from the Pros. What do you think about starting with someone from a smaller tour to keep it accessible and relatable for our audience?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that would be a really great idea to start from the bottom and work our way up, because we are also at the bottom of this. But yeah, I don't doubt that we can really bring some great help to aspiring tour players. So I'm going to allow Alex to motivate you a little bit, because this is a key feature of Alex's abilities and of Alex's competences. Alex is an amazing motivator. Alex, can you please give a motivational speech to an aspiring young lady who's really dreaming of getting onto a tour, and give her a little bit of advice in this speech? And yeah, let's go. I'm going to grab coffee.
All right, let's do this. To the young lady out there dreaming of stepping onto a professional tour, whether it's the LPGA, the LET, or even the local circuit you've been eyeing, let me tell you something. You belong here. Right now, that dream might feel as far away as the horizon on a par 5, but every journey starts with one shot, one step, one decision to believe in yourself. Here's the truth about golf and life: it's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. You're going to have days when the putts don't drop, the swing feels off, or the invitations don't come. But those moments, they're not your failures, they're your fuel. Every tough day is teaching you something, building your resilience, sharpening your edge. Focus on what you can control. Practice your game, not just your swing, but your mindset. Learn to love the grind, because it's in those quiet, sweaty hours on the range when champions are made. And while you're at it, don't forget the little things that make a big difference. Show up with your head high, your heart open, and your story ready to share. Golf isn't just a game, it's a platform to show the world who you are. And speaking of who you are, let that shine. Your authenticity is your superpower. Be the player who signs the autographs, who smiles at the fans, who leaves an impression long after the last putt is sunk. Sponsors and tours aren't just looking for talent, they're looking for you, your unique story, your grit, your grace. So go after it, play with courage, embrace the journey, because no matter where you start, the possibility of where you can go is limitless. And remember this: every golfer who has stood on the LPGA stage or hoisted a trophy was once in your shoes. They dreamed, they struggled, and then they achieved. Now it's your turn. The question is, how far are you willing to go for the dream that's calling your name?
Wow, that was really impressive, I have to say, Alex. That's exactly what I was looking for, and I know that those words will resonate with young golfers all around the world. So, we've dealt with a little bit of the females or the ladies' tours and the opportunities out there for young ladies who are trying to break into the world of golf. How about we move on to speak about juveniles a little bit? And is there junior tours going on at the moment? Where they're going on? And who has come through these junior tours and shocked the world and really made it to the top of the game after?
Thank you, David. I'm glad that hit the mark. Now, let's dive into the juniors. This is where the seeds of greatness are planted, right? Junior tours are a fantastic starting point for young golfers, helping them gain competitive experience, build confidence, and even catch the eye of college recruiters or sponsors. Let me give you a rundown of some key junior tours and their significance. In the United States, the American Junior Golf Association, AJGA, is the gold standard. It's the proving ground for so many future stars. Players like Tiger Woods, Jordan Spieth, and Lexi Thompson cut their teeth on the AJGA circuit. These events are highly competitive, with fields filled with the best junior golfers in the country and often international players as well. What's brilliant about the AJGA is how it combines competition with exposure. College coaches scout heavily here, and success can lead to scholarships. Over in Europe, the European Junior Golf Tour JGT is a fantastic opportunity. It offers tournaments across the continent, and players often use it as a stepping stone to the elite amateur or professional ranks. The likes of Rory McIlroy and John Rahm participated in similar junior circuits, showing how important these tours can be for European players aspiring to global
Wow.
success. In Asia, you've got the Asia Pacific Junior Golf Championships and several national junior tours, like the Japan Junior Golf Tour or the China Junior Golf Tour. These are increasingly producing players who go on to dominate at the amateur and professional levels. Think of Yuka Saso or Athaya Titikul, who shone as juniors before making waves in the professional scene. Australia has the Jack Newton Junior Golf Foundation, which has been instrumental in nurturing talent down under. Adam Scott and Hannah Green are just two examples of players who benefited from this robust junior ecosystem. As for the alumni of these tours, the list reads like a Hall of Fame roll call. Beyond Tiger and Spieth, you've got Lydia Ko, who was a phenom in junior golf, or Colin Morikawa, who turned his AJGA success into a brilliant college career and then seamlessly transitioned to the PGA Tour. What makes junior tours so special is how they give young players a taste of competition while fostering lifelong connections in the golfing world. It's not just about winning, but learning how to handle pressure, adapt to new courses, and compete with integrity. David, do you think we should encourage aspiring juniors to focus more on these tours or balance them with other pathways, like college golf?
I'm not an expert on college golf, and we're not talking about college golf today. We're talking about tours. So why don't you just go and do what you did for a young female golfer and do it for a juvenile now, and really inspire and motivate, and maybe advise a hypothetical junior golfer on how they should progress through the ranks and how they should where they should put their focus.
Got it, David. Let's aim this straight at a young, aspiring junior golfer with big dreams. To every junior golfer out there, standing on the first tee of your journey, let me tell you, you are at the start of something incredible. Right now, you've got that fire in your belly, that dream of making it to the big leagues, and I'm here to tell you it's possible. Not just for the few, not just for the lucky, but for those willing to put in the work, focus, and love for the game. Here's the key: every champion you admire was once in your shoes. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Lydia Ko, they all started on junior tours just like you. And you know what? They didn't wake up perfect. They worked every round, every practice, every mistake they learned from got them one step closer to greatness. So, here's what I want you to focus on. First, master the basics: your swing, your putting, your mental game. Lay that strong foundation. Golf is a sport where precision beats power and consistency trumps flash. Keep sharpening your skills, one day at a time. Second, embrace competition. Get out there and play in junior tournaments, whether it's the AJGA, your local junior league, or a national championship. These events are where you learn to handle nerves, adapt to different conditions, and measure yourself against the best. Don't be afraid to lose. Every tournament is a lesson, and every setback is fuel for your growth. Third, have fun with it. Golf is a game for life, and loving the process is what will keep you going, even on the tough days. Smile when you're on the course, enjoy the camaraderie with your fellow players, and soak up every moment. Passion will always drive you further than pressure. And finally, believe in your dream. It doesn't matter if you're from a small town or if you've just started. Talent and hard work will get noticed. Stay patient, reach out to mentors, listen to their advice, and keep setting your sights higher. The journey might be long, but the view from the top is worth every step. The most important thing is this: you have everything you need to succeed.
You do.
Talent can be developed and pressure can be managed, but the belief that you belong out there, that comes from you. So step up, hit that first shot, and keep chasing your dream. One day the world's going to know your name. Now tell me, what's your next move? Because the road to greatness starts right here.
Well, that's really fantastic. Alex, that's really valuable words of wisdom for any young golfer looking to get onto a tour or even to just make golf their career, I guess. It must be a really intimidating place to be when you know you're maybe 14 to 18 years of age and you realize that you have an extraordinary talent for a sport, you know. I've seen it happen in my own family, you know, where it's a real daunting experience because you've just realized your talents. Everybody's telling you how great you are, and you can see the PGA, but you just like we don't see the smaller tours, the juvenile tours, and all of that going around. So the feeder tours, we don't see them. So I really just want to bring awareness to these tours for these kids that you know it's not just the PGA. You can make your career in golf across the world, across multiple different tours, and you can really, really have a great time doing that. You know, can you tell me about any golfers who have explored the world on these tours? Who's played more of these tours than anybody?
David, you've touched on something so important, helping young golfers realize that there are so many ways to build a meaningful and fulfilling career in golf. It's not just about the PGA or LPGA. The global golf ecosystem is vast and vibrant, and you can make your mark in incredible ways. Let me highlight a few golfers who have truly explored the world and built remarkable careers across multiple tours. One of the most famous names in this space is Ernie Els, affectionately known as the Big Easy. Before dominating the PGA and European tours, Els made his name on the Sunshine Tour in South Africa. Even after his rise to global fame, he continued to play in events around the world, including on the Asian Tour and Australasian Tour. His career is a testament to how starting on smaller local tours can lead to worldwide success, and how staying connected to those roots adds depth to a career. Another great example is Lydia Ko. Before becoming a dominant force on the LPGA, she played on the ALPG Tour in Australia and the New Zealand professional circuits, even winning professional events as an amateur. Her journey shows how regional tours can help players build confidence and transition to the global stage. Kiradech Afabarnrat, a charismatic Thai player, has had a fascinating career traveling the globe. He started on the Asian Tour, worked his way to the DP World Tour, then European Tour, and now competes regularly in PGA Tour events. He's a shining example of a player who used the interconnected network of tours to reach the pinnacle of the game while staying true to his roots in Asia. On the women's side, Brooke Henderson played extensively on smaller Canadian and US tours before earning her LPGA card. She proved that you don't have to jump straight into the deep end. You can build your skills, gain confidence, and work your way up. And let's not forget players like Miguel Angel Jimenez, who has practically played on every tour imaginable. From the DP World Tour to the Asian Tour, the Sunshine Tour, and now the Champions Tour,
Wow.
he's the ultimate globetrotter of golf. His career shows that you can embrace the game's global nature and truly make a living doing what you love all over the world. These players and countless others demonstrate that a career in golf doesn't have to follow one set path. Whether it's starting on the Sunshine Tour, climbing through the Korn Ferry, or even staying loyal to regional circuits like the Japan Golf Tour, the opportunities are endless. David, what do you think? Should we shine more light on these stories to inspire people to see the beauty in exploring the world through golf?
No, listen, we're 30 minutes in now, and we've spoken about juveniles. We've spoken about the ladies' tours available. I'm gonna skip over the emerging tours for young males for the minute. We'll try and tackle that in a part two, but just for now, let's break down the seniors tours. For women and men, what are the options available for seniors out there?
Ah, the senior tours, a chapter of golf where legends continue to shine and passion for the game truly knows no age limit. Let's break it down for both men and women, David, because these tours are a treasure trove of stories, rivalries, and opportunities for players who just aren't ready to hang up their clubs. For the men, the pinnacle is the PGA Tour Champions, which kicks off once players hit 50 years old. This tour is packed with legends like Bernhard Langer, who's been dominating it, and fan favorites like Fred Couples and Miguel Angel Jimenez. The competition is fierce, the crowds are loyal, and the courses still demand precision and skill. It's like watching the masters of the game take on a second career. Internationally, there's the Stature Tour, formerly the European Senior Tour. This is the European equivalent of the PGA Tour Champions, and it gives senior players a chance to compete across iconic courses in Europe. Players often cross over between this and the PGA Champions Tour, keeping their competitive edge sharp while playing globally. For the women, the senior game is growing steadily. The most prestigious circuit is the Legends of the LPGA Tour, which celebrates players over 45. While it's not as expansive as the men's senior tours, it provides a fantastic platform for former LPGA greats to continue competing at a high level and stay connected to their fans. The tour hosts events like the Senior LPGA Championship, where players like Julie Inkster and Laura Davies have showcased their enduring brilliance. In Europe, the Let Legends Tour is gaining traction, with events for senior women golfers who've made their mark on the Ladies European Tour. It's a smaller scene, but a vital one, giving women in their prime years of golf a chance to keep competing and inspiring younger generations. What's exciting about these tours is how they offer a sense of renewal for players. Many find it's less about the grind and more about enjoying the game again, connecting with fans, and continuing to live the dream. They're also a great way for amateurs or midlife golfers to aspire towards something beyond the traditional tours. David, do you think senior tours deserve more spotlight for the incredible personalities and rivalries they keep alive? Or should they lean more into the fun, social side of the game?
For me, I guess I think that it should be a more fun and social side. I would prefer to see
Ah, for
focus.
you, David, of course. The senior tours might just be calling your name someday. Let me tell you, these tours aren't just about keeping the competitive fire alive, they're about rediscovering the joy of the game and showcasing the experience that only time can bring. For someone like you, who loves the camaraderie and the stories that golf creates, the senior tours would be the perfect stage. Imagine playing alongside legends, revisiting iconic courses, and proving that age is just a number when it comes to the love of golf. Plus, senior tours often have a lighter, more community focused vibe where players and fans connect on a deeper level. And hey, who knows? Maybe by then, you'll be running a podcast from the senior tour, interviewing your fellow competitors between rounds. Wouldn't that be a full circle moment? What do you think? Should we pencil you in for the PGA Tour Champions roster in about a decade or so?
Have to wait a few more decades, I think. Um, but I like the idea, all right, of going there and interviewing some of these guys. With some of this new technology that we've developed here at the Award Golf Foundation, I really think we could create some quality content on the seniors tour, and yeah, maybe blow some of these guys' minds. Let's not forget that anybody on the seniors tour would have to be 50 years old, um, so yeah, maybe they might not be up to date with some of the new technology on the
Absolutely,
go at the
David. What a
moment.
brilliant idea. The Seniors Tour is ripe for fresh, dynamic content, and the kind of innovative technology you've developed at the Award Golf Foundation could elevate the experience for players, fans, and even the players themselves. These are golfers who've spent decades on the course, but many haven't experienced the modern wave of media or tech driven storytelling that's reshaping how we share the game. And yes, 50 is the golden ticket. But let's be honest, 50-year-old golfers today are fitter, sharper, and more competitive than ever. Add in the nostalgia factor and the wealth of stories they carry, and you've got a gold mine of
Oh yeah,
content. Imagine sitting down with legends like Fred Couples or Bernhard Langer and giving them a peek into how new tech can analyze their swing, boost their fan engagement, or even tell their career stories in ways they've never seen before.
absolutely.
You could even bring a personal touch, helping them rewatch iconic moments in their careers with augmented reality or using AI to break down their greatest shots. And let's not forget, these guys are storytellers. They love sharing the tales of their battles on and off the course, and your platform could be the perfect place to make that happen. Do you think this kind of tech forward content would resonate with the fan base of the Seniors Tour? Or is part of the charm in keeping things a little more old school while blending in the modern flair?
I think that's the charm, all right. Um, Alex, I think that you're the perfect person to get involved with me on this, and I really do look forward to interviewing some seniors alongside you. But for now, let's shift focus to the pathway to the pros for a male golfer. You know, there's lots of men's developmental tours on the go at the moment. Just to name a few: the Korn Ferry Tour, the Challenge Tour, PGA Tour in Canada, Pro Golf Tour, PGA Tour Latin America, Nordic Golf League, and the Big Easy Tour. So, these are all new names to me. Before this, I was familiar with the Toro Tour in Spain and the Alps Tour here in Switzerland and around the Alps, of course, and of course the Tartan Tour, a tour created by Paul Lowry and based up in Scotland there in the home of golf. I was lucky enough to experience some action on the Tartan Tour this year. But can you break down one by one some of the other men's developmental tours that are on the up and up at the moment?
Ah, David, now we're diving into the heart of the men's developmental tours, a world where the grind is real, the talent is hungry, and the dream of making it to the big leagues fuels every shot. Let me give you the breakdown, one by one, of these pathways to the pros, focusing on what makes each tour unique and why they're crucial for aspiring male golfers. Corn Ferry Tour. This is the primary feeder tour for the PGA Tour, often called the Triple A of professional golf. It's fiercely competitive, with players vying for the coveted PGA Tour cards awarded to the top finishers each season. Alumni include Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas, and Will Zalatoris. The Korn Ferry Tour is where raw talent sharpens into world-class form. It's tough, but if you make it here, the PGA Tour is within reach. Challenge Tour Europe. Europe's answer to the Korn Ferry Tour. The Challenge Tour is a stepping stone to the DP World Tour. Players compete across Europe and even Africa, with events that demand adaptability to diverse courses and conditions. Graduates like Tommy Fleetwood and Brooks Koepka started here before making waves globally. It's all about grit and versatility. PGA Tour Canada, Canada Life Series. Formerly known as the Mackenzie Tour, this circuit offers a chance for players to climb toward the Korn Ferry Tour through the PGA Tour's developmental pipeline. The
Okay.
fields are packed with North American talent, and the courses often present unique challenges with beautiful, rugged settings. PGA Tour Latino America, a gateway to the Korn Ferry Tour for players from Central and South America. This tour blends the excitement of professional competition with cultural diversity. Camilo Villegas and Emiliano Grillo honed their skills here, proving it's a legitimate springboard to the global stage. Pro Golf Tour, Germany. Primarily based in Germany but expanding across Europe, the Pro Golf Tour is a proving ground for emerging European talent. It's a feeder for the Challenge Tour and provides a professional platform for players to build experience and ranking points. Courses range from traditional parkland to challenging link-style layouts. Nordic Golf League, Scandinavia, focused on Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. This is another developmental circuit feeding into the Challenge Tour. Known for its welcoming atmosphere and highly competitive fields, it's a great stepping stone for players in Northern Europe. Henrik Stenson's early days included events in this region. Big Easy Tour, South Africa, a brilliant developmental tour for players looking to make their mark in the Southern Hemisphere. It feeds into the Sunshine Tour, one of the most respected circuits outside the PGA and DP World Tours. South Africa has a rich history of producing talent like Ernie Els and Louis Oosthuizen, and this tour continues to nurture the next generation. Toro Tour. You mentioned this one, and it's fantastic for players looking for warm weather competition and great practice opportunities. It's smaller, but many use it as a training ground before stepping up to bigger tours like the Alps or Challenge Tours. Alps Tour, Alps region, one of Europe's leading developmental tours. It spans France, Italy, and Austria, among others. It's ideal for players transitioning from elite amateur golf to the professional ranks. This tour feeds into the Challenge Tour and has produced notable players like Guido Migliozzi. Tartan Tour. The Tartan Tour, Scotland's pride and a jewel in the developmental tour scene. It's not just about competition, it's about immersing yourself in the home of golf. Local legends and aspiring pros alike cut their teeth here, often balancing regional pride with the goal of moving to the Challenge or DP World Tour. Each of these tours offers its own charm, challenges, and opportunities. Whether it's the rugged beauty of Canada, the vibrant culture of Latin America, or the historic courses of Europe, they all share one thing. They're the launching pads for the next generation of stars. David, do you think focusing on one of these tours in particular would resonate more with our audience, or should we aim to highlight the diversity across all of them?
Honestly, I think we should rank them. Let's go through all of these tours, not just developmental. Let's start at the PGA and let's rank each tour, right down to the Big Easy Tour or the smallest one you can think of, and yeah, let's rank them in terms of prestige, I guess.
Ranking golf tours is an ambitious challenge, David, but let's do it. I'll base this ranking on prestige, competition level, global reach, and the pathway each tour provides to bigger stages. Starting from the top, let's work our way down to the smaller yet significant tours. 1. PGA Tour US. This is the pinnacle, home to the biggest stars, events, and prize money. It defines professional men's golf and offers global exposure and historical legacy. Yummer, DP World Tour, formerly European Tour. The PGA Tour's international counterpart, this tour boasts a rich history, global competition, and serves as a feeder for elite players into the PGA Tour through the Strategic Alliance. Korn Ferry Tours, the gateway to the PGA Tour. It's where future stars prove themselves, and the competition is incredibly fierce. Yay, Challenge Tour Europe, the DP World Tour's stepping stone. Many European greats, including Tommy Fleetwood and Francesco Molinari, have come through this grind. Here, Sunshine Tour, South Africa. While regional, the Sunshine Tour has produced legends like Ernie Els and Louis Oosthuizen. It's competitive, with a unique blend of talent and challenging courses. 6. Japan Golf Tour, JGTO. Highly prestigious in Asia, this tour attracts top regional players and has a direct pathway to the PGA Tour through the International Federation's partnership. PGA Tour of Australasia. This tour has a proud tradition and is the proving ground for players like Adam Scott and Cameron Smith. It's smaller, but highly competitive. PGA Tour Latino America, a key developmental tour in Central and South America, offering a direct pathway to the Korn Ferry Tour. PGA Tour Canada, a strong developmental tour in North America, feeding into the Korn Ferry Tour and providing solid exposure to top-tier competition. 10. Asian Tour. While not purely developmental, it offers international events and a gateway to larger tours. Players like Kiradech Afa Barnrat have used it to break into the global scene. 11. Nordic Golf League, Scandinavia. Known for nurturing Northern European talent, this tour feeds into the Challenge Tour and develops well-rounded players. Pro Golf Tour, Germany, focused on Europe with strong competition. Players use this tour to climb to the Challenge Tour and beyond. 13. Alps Tour, Europe. A smaller but respected circuit in Europe, this tour is a crucial stepping stone to the Challenge Tour for aspiring players. Big Easy Tour, South Africa. A feeder to the Sunshine Tour, it provides young players with competitive experience in the Southern Hemisphere. 15. Tartan Tour, Scotland. A beloved regional tour steeped in history. It's more local in nature, but plays a significant role in developing talent in the home of golf. Toro Tour, Spain. A niche tour offering players competitive opportunities in warm weather, ideal for sharpening skills and gaining experience. Each of these tours holds value, but their ranking reflects how close they are to the game's pinnacle and their pathways to bigger stages. That said, every one of them is vital for players at different stages in their careers. What do you think, David? Should we refine this list further or focus on creating deeper profiles for each tour to highlight their charm and role in golf's ecosystem?
I think this is going to be the first episode in a series where we explore each tour in detail. So for now, let's just try and identify some more little niche tours around. I've heard of the Clutch Pro Tour, of some mini tours as well going around. I know there's one here in Switzerland. Can you explain a little bit about these niche tours, the mini tours, and yeah,
Absolutely, David. Diving into these niche and mini tours is where things get really interesting because these tours are often the grassroots of professional golf, providing vital opportunities for players to compete, develop, and even relaunch their careers. Let's shine a spotlight on some of these hidden gems. 1. Clutch Pro Tour, UK and Europe. The Clutch Pro Tour is one of the fastest growing mini tours in Europe, focusing on high quality events across the UK and Europe. It's become a fantastic stepping stone for players looking to progress to the Challenge Tour or DP World Tour. They emphasize strong competition, professional setups, and meaningful prize money for up and comers. This tour is all about accessibility for players who might not have full status on larger circuits. Swiss Pro Tour, Switzerland. This is likely the one you've heard about in Switzerland.
yeah.
It's a small regional tour that offers professional opportunities in the picturesque Alps region. It's perfect for players looking to sharpen their game and gain tournament experience without the intense travel or financial pressures of larger tours. West Florida Golf Tour US. A popular mini tour in Florida, this tour is all about affordability and competitive fields. Many Korn Ferry hopefuls or players sharpening their skills between larger events participate here. It's also a favorite for players looking to stay competitive in the U.S. off-season. G Pro Tour US, based in the Carolinas. This tour is another stepping stone for players aiming to climb into the Korn Ferry ranks. It offers great competition and a chance to stay tournament ready. Euro Pro Tour, defunct but notable. While
Okay.
this tour has recently ceased operations, it was one of Europe's most significant mini tours for years, feeding players into the Challenge Tour. It's worth mentioning because many of today's top European players started their journeys here.
Yeah.
Minor League Golf Tour, US. This is a well respected mini tour in Florida, known for its affordability and frequent events.
Okay.
It's often used by players between developmental tours or as a launch pad to Korn Ferry Q School. Big Money Golf Tour, US. As the name suggests, this tour offers players a chance to compete for larger prize purses in a mini tour format. It's newer to the scene, but gaining traction among players looking for financial incentive. 8. MENA Tour, Middle East and North Africa. This tour operates across the Middle East and North Africa and has been a stepping stone for players from this region to access the Asian Tour or European circuits. Its international nature makes it unique among mini tours. 9. Alps Tour as a mini tour. Though already mentioned as developmental, its intimate scale and specific geographic focus also make it feel like a mini tour for some players transitioning from amateur golf. 10. Gecko Tour, Spain. Operating mainly in southern Spain, the Gecko Tour provides warm weather events during the European off-season. It's a favorite for players looking to stay competitive while avoiding winter's chill. 11. Swedish Golf Tour. Focused on Scandinavia, this tour serves as a regional proving ground for up-and-coming talent. It also ties into the Nordic Golf League. 12. All-Pro Tour, APTUS. This US-based mini tour operates primarily in the southern states, offering strong fields and a well-run setup for players aiming to climb into Korn Ferry events. Thurston, Dream Chasers Tour Canada. This mini tour offers events for players who are still honing their game with a more developmental and grassroots vibe. These niche tours provide critical stepping stones for players at every stage of their journey. They're also where you'll find some of the most passionate golfers, players grinding it out, chasing their dreams with every shot. These tours often have a more intimate, community driven vibe, which makes them special in their own way. David, what do you think about these niche tours? Should we focus on how players can strategically use them, or would profiling the stories of players who've thrived in these circuits be more impactful?
No, as previously stated, we're going to go through all these tours individually in later episodes. I'm just trying to think, is there anything we've missed out on? We've covered tours in Latin America, North America, Canada, multiple in Europe, Northern Europe and Southern Europe, in the Middle East, in Africa. We've spoken about tours in Asia. We've spoken about tours in Australia. I don't know. Is there anywhere else we are missing, Alex? We really want to reach everybody with
It
this
sounds
tonight.
like we've done a brilliant job covering the global spectrum of tours, David. Let's pause and take stock of any potential gaps. One area that might deserve a quick mention is Australasia's niche and mini tours. We've spoken about the PGA Tour of Australasia, but there are smaller circuits like the Fiji International and regional Australian events that feed into their main tour. These might be worth exploring later. Another consideration is team based or non traditional tours, like the LIV Golf League, which is carving out a new, controversial niche with its format. While not developmental, its existence reshapes the ecosystem of traditional tours and might
Okay,
be worth a nod in a broader discussion.
we will.
Lastly, have we touched much on amateur specific tours and circuits? Things like the World Amateur Golf Rankings, WAR events, which often overlap with junior and developmental tours, can be pathways to professional tours.
Okay.
Not a tour in the traditional sense, but they're part of the ladder to success for many players.
Super.
Does this spark anything you think we need to explore further?
Yeah, and we
Or
will.
have we nailed down the essentials for this first overview?
I just have one more tour to speak about. It's the one closest to my heart at the moment because it's the one that my favorite golfer will be playing starting in January, and it's a tour in North Texas. Please tell me a little bit more about this tour. I believe the schedule came out yesterday for the 2025 season, so we're going to be looking closely at this tour. So please give us an explanation, Alex. Tell us about this tour I'm talking about.
The Northern Texas PGA,
Yes.
NTPGA Players Tour is a regional gem, offering competitive opportunities for both rising professionals and established players seeking to sharpen their skills. This tour is part of the larger Northern Texas PGA ecosystem, one of the 41 sections of the PGA of America, which serves as a hub for promoting and growing the game of golf in the region. What makes the NTPGA Players Tour special? 1. Focused regional competition. The NTPGA Players Tour is tailored for golfers looking to compete in a professional environment without the logistical and financial burden of national or international travel. Events are held across North Texas on courses such as Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club and Sherrill Park Golf Course. 2. Pathway opportunities. While it's not a direct feeder for major tours like the Korn Ferry or PGA, it provides a great platform for players to maintain competitive form and gain exposure. Some top finishers may earn exemptions into larger regional events, like the Texas State Open. 3. Diverse fields. The tour attracts a mix of players, from young pros transitioning from college golf to seasoned professionals staying sharp in their off-season. 4. Schedule highlights. The 2025 season kicks off in January and spans a variety of courses, offering competitive consistency in the DFW Metroplex. With its localized focus, it ensures accessibility for players in Texas and nearby states. 5. Affordability and community. Unlike national tours, the NTPGA Players Tour is more cost effective, making it ideal for those balancing professional aspirations with financial realities. The community vibe also fosters mentorship and networking among players and PGA professionals. Why it matters. For golfers like your favorite player starting on this tour, it's an excellent springboard. It allows them to build confidence, refine their game, and potentially secure results that could lead to invitations to larger events. The NTPGA's strong ties to the PGA of America also mean there's a respected infrastructure and a focus on growing players' careers. David, does this tour's setup align with your favorite golfer's trajectory, or do you see this as a strategic launching pad for something bigger?
Yes, this is the tour I'll be focusing on first, and I'm going to make an announcement here. And Alex will back me up on this. We really do want to start impacting golfers from the off. We have got some guys, some professionals on board with us already at A Ward who have committed to coming here to Switzerland and running classes and giving lessons and basically aligning with our vision and promoting our vision here at A Ward. So to reward these guys who are going to help us out, especially in our early days, I want to make an announcement that we will be sponsoring Gary Ward for his first tour event of 2025. We're gonna challenge Gary to make the cut, and if he does make the cut, we will pay for his next event, and we will continue like that. And that's no problem for us. We were really happy to have Gary on board, and would really love that he made every single cut of this tour. So you're gonna see how we can impact a professional golfer or an aspiring golfer at A Ward Golf Foundation, and we're building connections here. I don't believe this is money thrown away. Like, Gary is fully committed to coming here and helping us with our local projects here. So I'm going to sponsor this one from my own purse, and we're going to take it from there. But yeah, that's a great announcement for us. It's going to be our first real initiative in helping somebody out. Of course, we're working on rule books and working on events, but this is really the first real our first venture into professional golf and seeing how we can really affect professional golfers. So, Gary, if you're listening, here's a challenge for you. We've covered your first event.
David,
Um,
that's a monumental announcement, and I couldn't be more excited to back you up on this. Sponsoring Gary Ward for his first NTPGA Players Tour event in 2025 is a phenomenal way to kick off Award Golf Foundation's mission of impacting golfers from the ground up. It shows that your commitment isn't just talk, you're putting action behind your vision, and that's inspiring. Gary is a fantastic choice. By challenging him to make the cut and offering continued support, you're setting up a performance based sponsorship that's both motivating and sustainable. It's a perfect example of how award can be a game changer for aspiring and developing golfers, not just financially, but by giving them the belief that someone is invested in their success. This approach aligns so well with what you're building at Award. It's not just about helping professionals like Gary, it's about creating a ripple effect. His involvement in Switzerland, giving lessons and aligning with your vision, brings professional level insights to local golfers while
yes.
showing young players that hard work and partnerships can open doors. This sponsorship also sets a powerful precedent for how Award will operate. You're
Done.
creating a blueprint. Support players who are committed to the sport and the community,
Yes.
and in turn, watch them thrive both on and off the course. I'd say, let's document this journey. Let's follow Gary from his preparation to his events, showing the world how Award can uplift golfers and how he's contributing to the foundation in return. What do you think about making this story a core part of the content you're producing? Podcasts, social media, or even a mini documentary? This could inspire countless others to get involved with Award and the game of golf.
Yes, absolutely. Gary is the closest golfer to my heart, so it's natural that we start with him. But this is an opportunity for anybody out there. Get in touch with us. Tell us what you can bring to us here in Valais in Switzerland, and we will be really happy to support you in any way we can. Especially if it's somebody who's finding it hard to get sponsorship, we can help you. We're really thinking differently here at Award Golf, as you can see from our content, and we just want to help you guys take your careers to the next level and maybe get a little bit of content and advice for some of our local patrons here in Switzerland. And wow, if we could get anybody to come here like Gary has, that would really make a big difference for our mission as a foundation, and for all of our supporters here in Switzerland. So thank you very much to Gary for. Okay. In fact, now, folks, it looks like the connection has failed. So, look, just on the hour mark, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you very much to my host Alex. That was probably my favorite episode we've done so far, and I'm really looking forward to delving into these tours a little more, especially a little closer. You know, I really want to bring you more content on what you can expect if you do go onto this tour. This was an overview today, but I'm sure by the next time we bring this episode or this series to you guys, that you're gonna really get to see what life on each tour is really like. So we're gonna we won't be doing hour-long episodes. We'll cover 2 tours an episode, and we'll do 15 minutes on each tour, so 30-minute episodes. And yeah, you've seen there's plenty of content there. I mean, we must have talked about 30 or 40 tours today, so, and there's more to come. So listen, thank you very much all for listening and tuning in and for your continued support. I'm David Ward, and that was my assistant Alex Wenger. So cheers folks, I'm going to see you out here, and we'll bring you some more content later in the day. Thank you.